But this is the problem when you vote in people into office that do not have your best interests at heart. Let me ask you guys something. You remember when the Democrats was wearing kente cloth? I think it was from Kenya, Kenya kente cloth, and they were bound kneeling down and putting their fist up. Now I thought about it for a long time. They didn't know what they essentially was wearing, but I realized I think Obama told them to do that. He said where it is, because we understand that Obama's father is Kenyan, right? And Kenyans love Obama. Oh, you became president, the most powerful. Okay, whatever. I understand that a little bit, which means nothing to no American. But where did most of the enslaved Africans come from? West Africa. Did they go talk to Nigeria about what they should be wearing? I'm just saying. I digress. But here are the many ways that politicians actually pander to black people, and how they go about this is, I want you to really think Obama, Bush, Hillary, Joe Biden. I want you to think about this. What do they wear? What do they do? Or what do they say to Asians? And that include Indians as well. What do they say to the Muslims, to the Catholics? Because they break all these groups up to like Catholics, Muslims, Hispanics, Asians, Pacific Islanders. If you notice, they don't say nothing to them. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed they don't say anything to other groups? They don't. They don't say nothing to them. They don't say, well, hey, Asians. They don't come out in a Komodo dragon dress or suit pandering to Asian people, because they don't need to pander to Asian people. You get what I'm saying? They don't need to pander. They don't need to pander to other groups, because they're giving other groups tangibles. They're giving other groups resources. That's why you don't see Asians and Indians and Muslims and Catholics on TV. You just see black people and some Hispanic people, and you rarely see white Hispanics. You don't see Arabic people on there either. You don't see Jewish people on there either, because any American president, I think they have signed some damn agreement stating that we're going to give everybody tangibles except black people. I feel that way sometimes. Okay, case in point. Let's just do some like realization, down to earth. When did you hear Joe Biden talk to Asian people? When did you hear that? When did you hear Joe Biden talking to Asian people? And if you did hear him, it was very, very, very brief. The only ones he talked to are black people. And look, not even Hispanic citizens, not even brown citizens. He go and talk to immigrants first. Have you noticed that? That is so damn disrespectful. Here we are, the poorest group in the nation, and he would rather go out and talk to people who are not even citizens. But that's right, America. You voted for him. Now, when it comes to America, I'm talking about Black America. And some of you like, well, we had to get Donald Trump out of office. We didn't have to do shit. See, we're so worried about what everybody else is doing, what everybody else is saying, but we're not worried about ourselves. When we start to unite, and look, it don't got to be all of us. Can we get 50% of you guys? Can we get 20 million people to say, we're not going to vote until you give us reparations? And reparations is individual cash payment to each foundational Black American. Then we want grants. We don't want loans for X, Y, and Z, whatever people start to determine. Yes, that's right. We need to start making demands just like other groups. And we need to say, here's what we're going to do. These two very most powerful things that every Black person can do. Very easy. First and foremost, you hold your vote for ransom. You say, well, hey, Whatever you guys think, I'm not voting until reparations on. And reparations in these form, increasing funding and resources for our communities, our clinics, our schools, our community centers, etc. Okay, increase the funding for Black people to get psychiatry. Okay, go see a psychiatrist. These are the things that we need in the Black community because we are a traumatized group. Can we get half of us to do it? But the problem is we have a lot about Generation X, the baby boomers, who are just glad to see a Democrat in office. And what they don't know is what they should know is the generation before them were all Republicans. Black people used to be Republicans since Lincoln, because Lincoln was a Republican who released the slaves, well, with some contingencies, because he really wanted to keep us in slavery. But I'll move on. And there are some rumors, there is some chatter that Martin Luther King was a Republican, which really doesn't surprise me at all if he was or he wasn't, because most Black people were Republicans. And then during the 60s, I think it was Johnson who kind of, did some things for Black people with civil rights, which if you notice, civil rights didn't mean nothing because we're still in the same predicament, if not worse than we are now. And then we all became Democrats. And some of the things that a lot of the presidential candidates used to do, they don't even do no more. They used to lie to us. They used to make a lot of empty promises. But guess what? Since Bush, they haven't done none of that. They haven't hey, what we're gonna do for Black people, we're gonna put a food truck. We're gonna put a food truck in the Black community. We're gonna make sure it has catfish, collard greens, butter biscuits, and we're gonna make sure that Jim Clodburn is there with his annual fish fry. You guys are gonna have a great time. They don't even lie to us no more. They don't even say what they're gonna do for Black people. They start speaking around the issue for people of color. Ladies and gentlemen, can I inform you of something when we talk about people of color? Can I tell you something? I want you to really, really think about it. People of color is everybody. White is a color. Brown, red, yellow. People of color involves literally the whole entire nation. Minorities. Think about it. Who are minorities? Don't count yourself if you're Black and you're minority. Just say, I'm African American, I'm Black, I'm a Nubian, I'm a Moor, whatever. You're Black, you're melanated. Just say melanated. Because when we start tying ourselves in all of these groups, when do we receive any of these resources? When do we receive any of these resources? We don't receive none of these resources when we start talking like that. And we start become divided because, a couple of us voted on healthcare. We voted on healthcare. Some of us voted on justice, which justice was not on the table.